Hello, everybody. This is Home in the World by Rabindranath Tagore. Chapter 6, Nikhil's Story, Part 8. A few days later, my master brought Panchu round to me. His zamindar, it appeared, had fined him 100 rupees and was threatening him with ejectment. For what fault, I inquired. Because, I was told, he's been found selling foreign cloths. He begged and prayed Harish Kundu, his zamindar, to let him sell off his stock, bought with borrowed money, promising faithfully never to do it again, but the zamindar would not hear of it, and insisted on his burning the foreign stuff there and then if he wanted to be let off. Panchu, in his desperation, blurted out defiantly, "I can't afford it. You're rich. Why not buy it up and burn it?" This only made Harish Kundu red in the face as he shouted, "The scoundrel must be taught manners. Give him a shoe beating." So poor Panchu got insulted as well as fined. What happened to the cloth? The whole bale was burnt. Who else was there? Any number of people who all kept shouting Bande Mataram. Sandeep was also there. He took up some of the ashes, crying, "Brothers, this is the first funeral pyre lighted by your village in celebration of the last rites of foreign commerce. These are sacred ashes. Smear yourself with them in the token of your Swadeshi vow." "Panchu," said I, turning to him, "you must lodge complaint." "No one will bear me witness," he replied. "None bear witness? Sandeep, Sandeep." Sandeep came out of his room at my call. "What's the matter?" he asked. "Won't you bear witness to the burning of this man's cloth?" Sandeep smiled. "Of course I shall be a witness in the case," he said, "but I shall be on the opposite side." "What do you mean?" I exclaimed. "By being a witness on this or that side, will you not bear witness to the truth? Is a thing which happens the only truth? What other truths can there be? The things that ought to happen. The truth we must build up will require a great deal of untruth in the process. Those who have made their way in the world have created truth, not blindly followed it. And so I will bear what you people are pleased to call false witness, as they have done who have created empires, built up social systems, founded religious organizations. Those who would rule do not dread untruths. The shackles of truth are reserved for those who will fall under their sway. Have you not read history? Do you not know that the immense cauldrons where vast political developments are simmering, untruths are the main ingredients? Political cookery on a large scale is doubtless going on, but, I know, you, of course, will never do any of the cooking. You prefer to be one of those down whose throats the hotchpotch being cooked will be crammed. They'll partition Bengal and say it's for your benefit. They will seal the doors of education and call it raising the standard. But you will always remain good boys, sniveling in your corners. We bad men, however, must see whether we cannot erect a defensive fortification of untruth." "It's no use arguing about these things, Nikhil," my master interposed. "How can they who do not feel the truth within them realize that to bring it out from its obscurity into the light is man's highest aim, not to keep on heaping material outside?" Sandeep laughed. "Right, sir," said he. "Quite a correct speech for a schoolmaster. That's the kind of stuff I've read in books. But in the real world I have seen that man's chief business is the accumulation of outside material. Those who are masters in the art advertise the biggest lies in their business, enter false accounts in their political ledgers with their broadest pointed pens, launch their newspapers daily laden with untruths, and send preachers abroad to disseminate falsehood like flies carrying pestilent germs. I am a humble follower of the great ones. When I was attached to the Congress Party, I never hesitated to dilute 10% of truth with 90% untruth. And now, merely because I've ceased to belong to that party, I have not forgotten the basic fact that man's goal is not truth, but success." "True success," corrected my master. "May be," replied Sandeep, "but the fruit of true success ripens only by cultivating the field of untruth, after tearing up the soil and pounding it into dust. Truth grows up by itself like weeds and thorns, and only worms can expect to get fruit from it." With this he flung out of the room. My master smiled as he looked up towards me. "Did you know, Nikhil," he said, "I believe Sandeep is not irreligious. His religion is of the obverse side of truth, like the dark moon, which is still a moon, for all that its light has gone over to the wrong side. That's why," I assented. "I've always had an affection for him, though we've never been able to agree. I cannot contemn him, even now, though he's hurt me sorely and may yet hurt me more." "I've begun to realize that," said my master. "I've long wondered how you could go on putting up with him. I have at times even suspected you of weakness. I now see that though you two do not rhyme, your rhythm is the same. Fate seems bent on me writing Paradise Lost in blank verse in my case, and so is no use for a rhyming friend, I remarked, pursuing his conceit. What a Ponchu, resumed my master. You say Harish Kundu wants to reject him from the ancestral holding. Supposing I buy it up and keep him on as my tenant, and is fine, how can the Zamindar realize that if he becomes my tenant? His burnt bale of cloth? I'll procure him another. I would like to see anyone interfering with a tenant of mine for trading as he pleases. I'm afraid, sir, interposed Ponchu despondently, while you big folk are doing the fighting, the police and the law vultures will merrily gather round, and the crowd will enjoy the fun, but when it comes to getting killed, it will be the turn of only poor me. Why, what harm can come to you? They'll burn down my house, sir, children and all. Very well, I'll take charge of your children, said my master. You may go on with any trade you like, they shan't touch you. That very day I brought up Ponchu's holding and entered into formal possession. Then the trouble began. Ponchu had inherited the building of his grandfather as his sole surviving heir, and everybody knew this. But at this juncture an aunt turned up from somewhere with her boxes and bundles, her rosary, and a widowed niece. She ensconced herself in Ponchu's home and laid claim to a life interest in all he had. Ponchu was dumbfounded. My aunt died long ago, he protested. In reply, he was told that he was thinking of his uncle's first wife, but that the former had lost no time in taking himself a second. But my uncle died before my aunt, exclaimed Ponchu, still more mystified. Where was the time to marry again? This wasn't denied. But Ponchu was reminded that it had never been asserted that the second wife had come after the death of the first, but the former had been married by his uncle during the latter's lifetime. Not relishing the idea of living with a co-wife, she had remained in her father's house till her husband's death, after which she had got religion and retired to a holy Brindaban, where she was now coming. These facts were well known to the officers of Harish Kundu, as well as some of his tenants, and if the Zamandar's summons should be peremptory enough, even some of those who had partaken of the marriage feast would be forthcoming.